Your first practice postpartum doesn't need to look like a formal yoga practice. It should look like being in your body, moving in your body, and seeing what's there. One of my favorite postpartum poses is downward facing dog at the wall. To do this shape, you can turn and face a wall, bring your hands flat against it, or in my case, I have railing, so I'm going to hold on, and then walk far enough away from the wall that your arms get pretty straight and your head is about parallel to your arms. Just like you would in down dog, you can bend your knees a little or a lot. Once you arrive here, you might rock your hips a little side to side. You might explore a little bit of cat and cow in your spine. You could bend and straighten your arms if that feels good. If it feels like a fun option, you could lift one leg. So there's all sorts of exploration you can do here, and you still have your hands at the wall so you feel secure, and your heart is still parallel to your head so that you're not feeling dizzy at all. Lay in that down dog for as many breaths as you'd like. It's a great place to explore, to warm up your shoulders, to say hi to your hips and spine. A few more poses that are lovely for your first postpartum practice are poses that we'll do on our back. Come onto your back with your knees bent. This next little movement is simply an exploration of pelvic tilts. As you inhale, imagine your pelvis is a bowl of water and you're tipping it towards your toes. You're creating a lot of space underneath your back. As you exhale, imagine that same bowl of water is tipping back toward your face and you're pressing your low back into the mat. That's it, these sweet pelvic tilts. Inhale to come forward and exhale to tilt back. Over time, there are things that you could add. As you release your pelvis forward, you can imagine you're releasing your pelvic floor. As you press your low back into the mat, you can engage pelvic floor and engage core. So you can play with adding those, or you can simply rock back and forth, checking out how your spine feels today. Another really lovely place to start when you're first postpartum is to play with leg slides. I think these work a little better if you have socks on or if you're on carpet. So if my legs skip a little bit, you'll see that bare feet on mats can be a little more challenging. In this shape, you simply find a neutral spine on your back with your knees bent. You take a deep breath in through your nose, and as you exhale, you float your leg out slowly, slowly, slowly. I know, it doesn't look like much, but you're just sliding it out until it's completely straight. Pause at the bottom for maybe a round of breath. And then you do the same thing to bring your leg back in. You inhale, and as you exhale, you slide your leg, slowly bringing it in with a lot of control. Notice all the little muscles that have to fire for this to happen. It looks simple, but it's deceptively challenging. Do that at least a few times with each leg, sliding the opposite leg out as you breathe out, and then sliding it back in as you again breathe out. So play with those on each side. Finally, the sweetest shape to take postpartum is any sort of supine twist. You can take your arms into a T position or cactus arms. Your feet can come together or they can step wider apart. You can even cross your legs if you really like that version. And simply drop your knees to one side. Sometimes I scoop my hips the opposite direction. That feels pretty good to me, so you could do that as well. This 4 exploration sequence, this 4 pose or 4 movement sequence, is safe whether you've had a vaginal birth or a cesarean birth. It's lovely for anybody as long as it feels good to you. If you're playing with a supine twist, stay for many, many breaths. And when you're done, of course, twist to the opposite side, allowing your knees to fall the other direction. Stay there an equal amount of time. And we always love when you end with a shavasana. So if you have the time, if you have the space, try to end there. I know it's not always possible when you have a little one.